She looked me dead in the eye on her birthday and said the only gift she wanted was for me to disappear, not leave early, not give her space. No. She said it slowly, clearly, like she meant every word. And my son-in-law? He just stood there, silent, like this was completely normal. I was still holding her cake when she said it. I remember the smell first, almond and chocolate, her favorite since she was a little girl in Chicago. I had spent almost 3 months of my pension on that cake, $800 I didn't really have, but I thought it would make her smile. I thought maybe, just maybe, things between us would feel like they used to. I couldn't have been more wrong. I had arrived early to her house in Santa Barbara, this massive ocean view place I had helped her buy years ago. I knocked, smiling, rehearsing in my head how I'd say, "Happy birthday," like I always did. But the second she opened the door, I knew something was off. "Oh, it's you," she said, barely even looking at me. No hug, no warmth, just irritation. I stepped inside anyway, holding the cake and a small gift box. "Happy birthday, sweetheart," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "I brought your favorite cake and something special." She didn't even glance at the box. "Just leave it in the kitchen. I'm on a call." And just like that, I felt like a delivery driver in a house I had partially paid for. But that wasn't even the worst part. I walked into the kitchen, marble counters, high-end appliances, all upgrades I had helped cover, and set the cake down carefully. Through the window, I could see my grandkids in the pool with their instructor. They didn't even notice I was there. I stood there for 15 minutes, alone, waiting. When she finally came in, she didn't say thank you. She grabbed a sparkling water, leaned against the counter, and asked, "So, are you just dropping that off? Or are you staying?" That question hit harder than it should have. "I thought maybe we could have dinner," I said. "It's been a while since we've seen each other." She didn't even hesitate. "I already have plans. Jason's taking me out." Jason, her third husband, the same guy who always seemed to have investment emergencies that somehow needed my money. I nodded, pretending it didn't sting. "Maybe lunch tomorrow then?" She rolled her eyes. And that's when everything shifted. "Mom, we need to talk." The way she said it, I knew it wasn't going to be good. I sat down at the kitchen island, my hands already starting to shake. She looked at me like I was nothing. Not even anger, just annoyance. "I've been thinking," she said, crossing her arms, "about my life, about what actually makes me happy." I forced a smile. "Okay, tell me." She leaned forward slightly. "What I want most for my birthday is for you to disappear from my life." I actually thought I misheard her. "What?" "You heard me," she said calmly. "I'm tired of you. The constant calls, the showing up unannounced, the way you act like my life revolves around you." My chest tightened so fast I could barely breathe. "I'm your mother," I whispered. "And that's the problem," she snapped. "You made me your whole world. It's suffocating." Every word felt like it was peeling something off of me. "But I've only ever tried to help you." "Exactly," she cut in. "Help I didn't ask for. Money I didn't need. You just like feeling needed." That one broke something, because I knew it wasn't true. I had helped because she asked, because she needed it, because I loved her. But that wasn't even the worst part. She stood up, looked me straight in the eye and said, "Honestly, it would be easier if you were just gone. Like, completely gone." I couldn't move. "I wish you were dead." Mom. I don't remember putting the gift back in my purse. I don't remember walking out. I just remember the sound of the door closing behind me and realizing my own daughter had just wished me dead, like it was nothing. And my son-in-law? He never said a word, not once. I got into the taxi and didn't even realize I was crying until the driver asked if I was okay. I wasn't. That night, I didn't sleep, not even for a minute. I just sat there in my small apartment in downtown Chicago, replaying everything, every sacrifice, every moment, every dollar I had ever spent trying to make her life easier. When she was 5 and got sick, I sold my wedding jewelry to pay for treatment. When she wanted to study abroad, I took out a loan. When she got married twice, I paid for both weddings. And then the house, the business, the car, the school for the kids. Piece by piece, I had built her life. And somehow, I ended up being the burden. At around 5 a.m., I did something I had never done before. I pulled out every receipt, every document, every record I had kept over the years. And I started adding everything up. The number made me physically sick. Over $200,000. That's how much I had spent over the years trying to support her life. And for what? So she could look me in the eye and wish me dead? That's when something changed. Not anger. Not exactly. Clarity. Cold, sharp clarity. For the first time in 40 years, I saw the situation exactly for what it was. I wasn't a mother to her. I was a resource. And the moment I stopped being useful, I became disposable. At 6 a.m., I blocked her number. Then his. Then anyone connected to them. And for a moment, the silence felt terrifying. But then, something else crept in. Peace. But here's the part I didn't realize yet. That silence, it wasn't going to last. Because, just a few hours later, my phone started ringing again. Different numbers. Over and over and over. And that's when I realized something had already started going very, very wrong on their end. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't going to fix it. I stared at the phone while it kept vibrating across my kitchen table. Unknown number after unknown number. At first I ignored it. Let them sit in the silence they asked for. Then a voicemail came through. Mrs. Carter, this is First Pacific Bank. We need to speak with you urgently regarding the mortgage account you're listed on. I went still. Mortgage account. And just like that, everything shifted. But that wasn't even the worst part. I had co-signed that house. My name was on the deed. Years ago, she called me her guardian angel when I signed those papers. Now, it felt like a mistake I was finally ready to correct. I called the bank back. There's been a missed payment, the representative said. If this continues, you have legal standing to act. Missed payment. So, the perfect life she showed off was already cracking. And suddenly, her words made sense. She didn't want distance. She wanted freedom, without consequences. I hung up, sat there for a minute, then stood up and did something I should have done years ago. I chose myself. I went straight to the bank and closed the joint account we shared, about $9,000 I had kept for her emergencies. Not anymore. Then I met with a loan advisor. One question. What are my options? The answer? If payments failed, I could step in legally. Even force a sale. For the first time in years, I felt something settle inside me. Control. But that wasn't even the worst part. By the next morning, the messages started. Mom, please call me. Something's wrong with the bank. We need to talk. I almost smiled. Because for the first time, I didn't. Before I continue, if you enjoy real-life stories like this, subscribe to the channel and tell me where you're watching from. By day 3, the panic showed up at my door. Jason. Tired. Uneasy. Not confident anymore. Mrs. Carter, please, we need your help. I stepped outside. You've got 5 minutes. What Emily said, it was wrong. She didn't mean it. We just need time. There it was. Not an apology, a request. What's not fair, I said calmly, is being told I should be dead, and then expected to keep paying your bills. He had nothing to say. If the bank moves forward, we'll lose the house. Then maybe you should have thought about that. Before she decided I didn't deserve to exist in it. And I closed the door. That's when they knew I wasn't coming back. Within a week, the loan moved into default review. Deadlines, notices, pressure. Their life started collapsing. But then she made it worse. She made it public. I started getting messages. Are you okay? Why is Emily posting about you? I checked, and there it was. A long post. She called me unstable, said I abandoned them, that I wasn't mentally well. People believed her. And for a second, I almost responded. But then I remembered, I wish you were dead. So I waited. 2 days later, she came to me, pounding on my door. Mom, open the door. I did. And for the first time, she looked broken. "Why are you doing this?" she demanded. "You're ruining our lives." "No," I said quietly. "You did that." Her voice shook. "The bank is threatening foreclosure. We can't fix this without you." There it was again. Not love, need. "Do you need me? Or my money?" I asked. She hesitated, and that hesitation said everything. I need you," she whispered. I shook my head. "No, you need what I provided." Tears started falling. "I didn't mean it," she said. "I was angry." "You meant it enough to say it," I replied. She stepped closer. "Please, I'll change. Just come back." For a second, I saw the little girl she used to be, but I also remembered the woman she became. "I already fixed everything," I said. Her face went pale. "What does that mean?" "I removed myself," I said. "Completely. You can't just walk away. You asked me to." That's when she broke. "I'm sorry, Mom," she cried. "Please. The kids. We'll lose everything." The apology finally came, but it came too late. "I love my grandkids," I said softly, "but your life isn't my responsibility." She had nothing left to say. Just consequences. Within a month, the house was forced into sale. They downsized, sold assets, everything changed. The same people who admired her life now whispered about it. And me? I stayed quiet, no posts, no defense. The truth doesn't need noise, it shows itself. I sold my apartment, booked a one-way ticket, and, for the first time in decades, I lived for myself. A smaller life, a quieter life, but a peaceful one. A few months later, she called from a new number. I let it ring, because some doors, once closed, should stay that way. And sometimes the hardest truth is this: just because someone is your child, doesn't mean they're entitled to your life.